Notes is a 4-channel melodic sequencer and generator. It's similar to the Beats device, except that it generates melodic patterns rather than drum rhythms, and it can sustain notes over steps. It has 8 scenes, just like all the other devices, and we can set a duration for a pattern, like so. We can lock to a pattern by clicking on it, or we can lock to a scene by clicking on the scene. We can set a scale, and we can also set a MIDI out channel for each of the 4 sequencer lanes. It's possible to set up a rate, step rate, and a step length for the sequence for each channel. So by pressing a key I can hear what note is being triggered, and we can adjust a sequence step length and length by using these knobs here. So let's change this to say 8th notes, and channel 2 we can leave at 16th notes. If we come back to channel 1 and go to step edit mode, let's just step in a note here, and in channel 2 we'll step in a note here. Okay, so we have just 2 steps playing at different rates. It's also possible to generate sequences. So let's go to sequence generation, and we'll select channel 1, and we'll set a to rhythm. And now with the generate knob we can generate different patterns or rhythms for our melody. So this is just the rhythm, not the melody. Okay, so now let's move to melody and generate some melody. Okay, so that's nice. Let's go to scenes and patterns, and we'll extend let's just copy this and we'll paste it into the second slot. If we come back to here and go back to sequence generation, and maybe we can change regenerate some different melody. And now let's say we wanted to generate something in beat 3, so we can change the generate location from beats 1 to 4 back to beat 3, go back to rhythm, and now when we generate, we're just generating in the 3rd beat. Okay. Now let's go into step edit, and let's say we want to get rid of this note. Tapping it once changes it from a note to a sustained note with the arrows. Tapping it again just removes the note again. And if we want to select a note, we can then change, well, with this dial, what we edit. So note, octave, etc. So let's just change the octave up 1. And select. so we've edited that sequence a little bit. Let's go back to the shift settings mode into scenes and patterns, and rather than being locked to the first pattern, let's select the scene, and now okay, nice. So that's how we can build up a melody. Let's just bring up control, and I'll mute that. Mute that temporarily. Okay, good. So now let's bring up another instance of notes, and this time I've set the MIDI out channels to different channels going to different instruments. So I'll go into the length page, and if I select channel 1, you can hear I've got a sort of bass sound. Channel 2, a pluck. At channel 3, an RP type of sound. At channel 4, sort of a bassoony, stringy pad type thing. So let's go back to channel 1, and let's turn the rate to whole bars, and in any other mode but step edit, tapping a pad will play. It's only in step edit mode where you can actually edit step pads in. Okay, so let's go to shift patterns and set a duration there of 2 bars. Go back into step edit. Okay, let's just go back into length, and maybe I will change this down to quarter notes. Okay, and going to step edit, and we'll extend. Okay, and let's change the pitch of this note to G, and then here let's just change the octave to something like this perhaps. Okay, good. Channel 2. Okay, let's leave that for the moment. Channel 3. Let's come back into the rate, turn this down a little bit, and we'll edit in. Okay, go to channel 4, and let's just cuck in a couple of notes in the 4th beat of the bar. And let's just reduce the length of that one touch. The rate, reduce the step rate. Okay, so that's fine for this demonstration. Let's bring back the lead sound. Okay, nice. Now, notes is a melody sequencer, and you can use it this way, but really it was designed to be routed via chords. So I have things set up to route all of my notes devices via chords, But at the moment, we can see here in the middle channel modes that they're all set to through. So we're using 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So I'm going to change the mode. More on this in the chords video. Check that one out if you haven't seen it. And I'm going to change that to harmonize. This means that the bass channel will harmonize with the current chord. Channel 6 is that pluck sound. Let's just change that to chord mode, which means that incoming note triggers the current chord, all notes of the chord, in different inversions. Channel 7 is our lead sound. Let's change that to harmonize. We want it to play notes in harmony with the chord. Channel 8 is our harpy sort of sound. Let's put that to chord, so it'll send a chord into the arp. And channel 9 was the pad. Let's put that to chord as well. Yes. Okay, so we've got those going to chord. So in our scenes mode, I've got a scene here and I've got some chords. So let's just lock to that first chord now. Now our pluck sounds much richer and fuller because it's playing a chord. And which is good. At the moment we composed our melody in C major, and that's fine because chords takes notes in C major and converts them to the current chord using the information on the 4 pads in settings here. So with our current chord set to C, it's just playing exactly what we had entered in notes. Let's change a chord and we'll go back to playing these chords in sequence. So now we're routing our notes into chords and they're all being harmonized to the current chord as per the MIDI channel mode setting. And in this way we can use our chords in our chord progression to jump around and reharmonize the whole song. And that's how Notes was designed to work in conjunction with chords.